In 1936, a construction worker outside Baghdad dug up a small clay jar. Nothing special, just an ancient pot. Except, inside was a copper cylinder. Inside that, an iron rod. And around it, traces of an acidic liquid. When a scientist recreated it in a lab and poured in vinegar, it produced electricity. This jar is 2,000 years old. The light bulb was invented in 1879. Nobody knows what it was for. Every battery you own works on the same principle. Two different metals, an acidic liquid between them. Electrons flow from one to the other. That flow is electricity. This is not complicated chemistry. It was discovered, officially, in 1800 by Alessandro Volta, who called it a voltaic pile, who won every major scientific award of his era. But in a museum in Baghdad sits an object that does exactly the same thing, built 2,000 years before Volta was born. Either someone in ancient Mesopotamia understood electrochemistry, or they stumbled onto something they never fully understood. Both options are deeply unsettling. The object was found near the village of Kujut Rabu, just outside modern Baghdad. It dates to somewhere between 250 BC and 640 AD, the Parthian period. The jar is 14 centimeters tall. Inside, a copper sheet rolled into a cylinder. Inside that, an iron rod held in place by asphalt. The top was sealed. German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig was the first to suggest it might be a battery. In 1938, 2 years after it was found, nobody took him seriously. Then in 1940, General Electric engineer Willard built an exact replica. Filled it with grape juice, acidic, period accurate. It produced 1.5 volts. The same voltage as a modern AA battery. At this point, the scientific community had two choices. Accept that ancient Mesopotamians had working batteries, or find another explanation. Most chose the second option, and they're not wrong to be skeptical. Here's why. The battery works. That part is not debated. Fill it with any acidic liquid, vinegar, lemon juice, grape juice, copper sulfate, and it produces between 0.8 and 2 volts. MythBusters tested it in 2005. They built 10 replicas, connected them in series, produced enough current to gold plate a small object, which brings us to the first theory of what this thing was actually for. Theory 1. Electroplating. Archaeologists have found ancient Mesopotamian jewelry, thin layers of gold over base metal. So thin that modern analysis suggests they couldn't have been applied by hand. Electroplating would explain it perfectly. You submerge the object in a metal salt solution, connect your battery, and gold deposits atom by atom onto the surface. The process requires exactly the voltage the Baghdad Battery produces. Theory 2. Acupuncture and pain relief. Ancient texts from the same period describe physicians using small metallic instruments to treat pain by stimulating specific points. Low-voltage electrical current produces a tingling sensation. It's used in modern physical therapy today. Called TENS, transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. Did Parthian physicians discover this 2,000 years ago? We don't know. We have no written record connecting the battery to any specific use. Theory 3. The uncomfortable one. It was religious. Several ancient temples in the region contained large metal statues. Priests controlled access to these statues completely. Ancient visitors reported feeling a divine shock when touching certain sacred objects. A hidden battery wired to a metal statue would produce exactly that sensation. Not a miracle, a trick. A very sophisticated, very deliberate trick. Here's what makes this genuinely strange. We found one, just one, in that specific location. If this was a widespread technology used for electroplating, medicine, or religious theater, where are the others? Where are the workshops, the instructions, the refinements, the next generation of the device? Every real technology leaves a trail. Damascus steel left furnaces, trade routes, finished weapons. The Baghdad Battery left one clay jar in a field near Baghdad. There are 3 possible explanations. 1. It was an accident. Someone stored acidic liquid in a metal container and noticed something strange happened. They never understood what, never replicated it, never recorded it. 2. It was deliberately kept secret. Temple priests or craftsmen knew exactly what it did and protected that knowledge carefully. When their civilization collapsed, the knowledge died with them. 3. We're wrong about what it is entirely. It's just a storage jar, and the electrical properties are coincidental. The honest answer is, we don't know which of these is true, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes it interesting. The Baghdad Battery today sits in the Iraq Museum, or it did. In 2003, during the invasion of Iraq, the museum was looted. Thousands of artifacts disappeared overnight. The Baghdad Battery survived. One of the few objects that did, which means the most controversial archaeological object in the ancient world is also one of the best preserved. Modern analysis has confirmed the iron rod shows corrosion consistent with acid exposure. Not just storage, active acid exposure. Something was in that jar, and it was reacting. But reactive doesn't mean intentional. Reactive means we still don't know. The Baghdad Battery is either the most important archaeological discovery of the 20th century, proof that ancient civilizations understood electricity 2 millennia before we thought they did, or it's a storage jar that happened to be made of the right materials, in the right shape, to accidentally produce a small current. Science hasn't decided yet. But here's the question I keep returning to. If it was accidental, how many other accidents are sitting in museum storage, mislabeled, waiting for someone to ask the right question? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was the Baghdad Battery intentional or a coincidence? If you want to see more lost technologies like this, subscribe to Dead Blueprints and drop a comment below. Which ancient technology should we investigate next? The best suggestion gets the next video.